In the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We're going to start out with our agenda. We're going to move to, we're not going to have an introduction of a new member tonight, but we're going to move to item B, election of officers, and I'm going to turn that over to our attorney.
So my understanding is, since we do not have a new member present tonight, and a new member will likely be appointed this coming month, my recommendation would be that we forego holding elections tonight until we have a full appointed board, just in case that new member might be interested in an officer position. If that's the board's pleasure to do that, then I think it would just require a motion.
Attorney, if you don't mind, we have to nominate a president and vice president just to hold the meeting, because who's working the gavel? So I disagree with you. Now, anything could be resigned and changed later in the next meeting, but we have to at least move forward with the president, vice president, secretary.
You could also appoint someone just for this meeting. I'll leave that up to you. If you would like to move forward with officer appointments, I don't think there's anything preventing that. However, I've had a number of boards that I've dealt with this year that have been in sort of similar shoes, and many of them have chosen to defer. But I do agree you need someone to run the meeting for today at the very least.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes, Mr. Jarvis.
I would like to nominate Michael Davis as president of the Schererville Board of Zoning Appeals.
I have a motion from Mr. Jarvis for an election of the president and a second from Mr. Kuritz. Megan, would you perform roll call?
Michael O'Rourke, Tom Corris.
Yes.
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Michael Davis.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Jarvis?
I'd like to nominate Tom Corris as vice president of the Board of Zoning Appeals, Town of Schererville.
We have a motion to appoint Mr. Tom Kuritz as the vice president of the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Can I second that?
I'll
Is there a
second it.
Second by Mr. Jarvis. Megan, would you perform roll call?
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Michael Davis. Tom
Yes.
Corris.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to nominate Michael O'Rourke as secretary.
Second.
We have a motion to appoint Michael O'Rourke as secretary of the Board of Zoning Appeals, second by Mr. Kuros. Megan, would you perform roll call?
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Tom Corris.
Yes.
Michael Davis.
Yes. Motion passes. Okay.
Appointment of attorney.
Appointment of the attorney is next.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Jarvis?
I'd like to nominate Burke, Costanza, and Carberry to the attorney's office for the Board of Zoning Appeals.
We have a motion for the appointment of Burkus. What was the rest of them?
Burke, Costanza, and Carberry.
Burkus, Constanza, and Carver. And is there a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Kuros.
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Tom Corris.
Yes.
Michael Davis.
Yes. Motion passes. Thank you. Next is the approval of the minutes of the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting from December 8th, 2025. Is there a motion?
Is it 24? November 24th?
24th.
Okay. I'll make a motion.
25, no. December 8th, 2025. We're now in 2026.
Yeah, I've got the wrong sheet. Mine says November 24th. I'm sorry.
December 8th,
Hold on.
2025.
December 8th
Okay,
is special meeting.
okay. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from December 8th, 2025 meeting.
Second.
Motion from Mr. Jarvis, second from Mr. Kuros.
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Tom Corus.
Yes.
Michael Davis.
Yes. Motion approved. Next is our public action and public hearings. And since we have a large number of public action and hearings tonight, we're going to be hearing cases A2H for BZA cases 26-1-1 to 26-1-8 for 2601 Morningside Drive, but we will vote on each individually at the end of the discussion. Additionally, we'll be hearing cases I to P for BZA cases 26-1-9 to 26-1-16 for 2633 Morningside Drive, but we will vote on each individually at the end of tonight's discussion. Mr. Attorney, do you have the proofs of publication for these particular?
All publications do appear to be in order.
Thank you very much. So, we have the petitioners here for BZA case 26-1-1 to 26-1-8, 2601 Morningside Drive. Would you step to the podium and say your name and your address?
Good evening. My name is James Huss with DVG Team, 1155 Troutwine Road, Crown Point, Indiana, and with me is Jared Tauber with Tauber Law. We are representing Morningside LLC, who is also here with us tonight. Thank you for braving the cold tonight and hearing our petition. Tonight's petition centers around two properties in the Harvest Manor subdivision locating south of US 30. The first page in your handout packet is just a general description of where. The first page is just a general exhibit of where these properties exist. As President Davis mentioned, we kind of have two properties that we'll be voting on individually. For the purposes of this presentation, we will be kind of touching on both. The petitions for each property are very, very similar with only very minor differences. The entrance to the Harvest Manor subdivision is zoned R3, while the interior is zoned R2. These two properties are in the R3 zoning district. The entirety of the Harvest Manor subdivision was constructed at a time, as far as I could tell, predating 1985. Also, from what I could tell, the town updated their zoning code in 2024, and previous to that was in 2011. So at least since 2011, with respect to the R3 zoning code, both 2601 and 2633 Morningside Drive have existed in a legal non-conforming manner. The core requirement of the R3 zone is that it does allow multifamily residential, but it caps the units per lot at 4. Both of these properties hold 16 units in a single building. And the legal nonconformance, while it is not systemic throughout the Harvest Manor subdivision and the R3 lots, the legal nonconformance is not unique to only these two properties. There are a couple other 6-unit buildings, and there's one or two 8-unit buildings. So it's not a complete outlier for nonconformance in the area. It was very obvious that perhaps the zoning code was different when these buildings were constructed. And I hope it goes without saying, none of our petition tonight is critiquing the R3 zoning district or the town's regulations. It is very, very clear what the town of Schererville wants in that zoning district today, but unfortunately these properties just predate the regulations that exist today. But what we do have in this existence of past construction, in that it's fully occupied in a legal non-conforming manner, it does create certain difficulties. and hinders investment in such properties, either by the current owner or a potential future owner. As it's my understanding that when you have a non-conforming property, should a disaster strike the property, such as a fire that damages greater than 51% of the structure, that the property owner is no longer then allowed to rebuild what they had before. And when it comes to a potential new buyer wanting to make a substantial investment in the property, they need the confidence, because obviously they're investing an amount to a purchase commensurate with the revenue it generates. That's a hindrance to a purchase, and it's my understanding that this hindrance is causing a material impact to this property, and that the current owner desires to sell the property, and there has already been at least one buyer that has backed out because of this legal nonconformance, and they have requested the current owner to enlist our help in petitioning to hopefully clear that up so that greater investment can be made in the property and a transfer can take place. So at a core, what we're asking for is simply to receive certain variances, a variance of use and 7 developmental variances to bring these properties out of legal nonconformance. And before diving into the specific request, I'd like Jared to speak a bit about some of the financial benefits to the town that would result in receiving such variances.
Thanks, Mr. Huss, and Mr. Huss said it very elegantly, and I just wanted to point out, I do have the current owner with us tonight. His name is Steve Ruzich. He's one of the owners of Morningside. And we also have the potential new owner of the building here as well. You know, obviously, he's very interested in this and hoping that we can get the variances. This is a little bit different of a hearing on a variance because we're not asking to build something new. As Mr. Huss stated, this property has been this way since the 80s. When Mr. Ruzich took over the property, it's continued as is for all this time. And the hiccup came, and which we didn't know about 3 or 4 months ago. We had the properties under contract to be sold. The buyer at the time contacted the town to see if the property conformed to all the standards of the zoning, and they were informed that at that time that it was legal nonconforming. Because of that, the legal consequences of that is a buyer or a new potential buyer is never going to be able to get proper insurance to insure the property. And for that reason, the previous buyer backed out of the deal. And so we're now under contract with a new buyer, and it's contingent upon hopefully your approval tonight of all the variances for the existing building. I did want to point out, as far as taxes are concerned, it's 2633 Morningside Drive, and then there's 2601 Morningside. They're very similar buildings. The taxes are similar as well. Just so you're aware, the current taxes on both buildings are around $18,000 a year in property taxes. And I just wanted the board to be aware, if these variances are approved and the deal goes through in a couple months, those taxes are set to increase between $20,000 and $60,000 a year. So if you take that over the span of 10 years, you're looking at increased taxes for the town of $200,000 to $600,000 in taxes. So to talk a little bit about the burden on my client, if these variances are not approved, he's probably never going to be able to sell the property. He'll hold on to it, I guess, until something happens to him, and then his kids will have it, and they'll hold on to it till something happens to them. But they're never going to be able to sell this property without these variances. So that's the reason we're here. If these variances are granted, like I said, there's nothing new that's going to be done to these buildings. They're going to be as is. Steve's been a really good neighbor, and I know Alex will, to all the other multifamily units in the area. They're not causing any harm to any of those buildings, and I think with the attendance tonight, as no one has showed up to remonstrate against any of these variances, I think that speaks volumes that, you know, this is something that's going to be good for the town and good for us. So we'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. I'm going to turn it back over to James to get in depth on all the variances that we're asking for.
So before I guess, open it up to an initial round of questions, there are a total of 16 action items, 8 per lot. The first being a variance of use and developmental variances related to side yards, lot coverage, garage sizes, accessory buildings, parking, a very minor lighting point, and a variance related to the dumpsters. Before I get into the more dry walk through the variances, were there any questions members have at this time?
Any questions from board members?
Can I pose a question?
Yes.
So it looks like, I know you've got a number of developmental variances that you're asking for, but the two big questions on each of these properties seem to be the transition and the variance of use that you're requesting. And you already stated that right now, where they are, they're allowed a maximum of 4 units, I believe, the way it's zoned.
That is correct.
So you're asking to transition it to a variance of use to specifically allow for a apartment complex. And right now, it's a legal non-conforming use. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm curious if you have any response to Title 21, Section 5E of our ordinance, which states that a legal non-conforming use shall not be changed to any use other than a use permitted in the zoning district in which the use is located. Because that seems to be really the question here, right?
Well, my response to that is, I don't even think that we need a use variance, to be honest. When we originally applied for these variances, the use is the use, it's multifamily. We're not changing the use. Changing the use would be like if you have a restaurant and you want to put a strip club in, that's a change of use. This is the same use as a multifamily, it's just more apartments. So my contention all along was that we're not changing the use, we're just making it, we're getting variances because there's more apartments there than the duplexes across the street or the 4 units across the street. So the use is not changing, it's just the size.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Mr. Jarvis?
Ms. Tauber, quick question. How many units are in these buildings currently?
There's 16 in each building.
Okay, are you requesting to add to those units?
No,
Okay, so you're keeping it exactly the way it is currently, yes?
that's correct.
So 16 units, and it will stay 16 units.
And not get any bigger.
Right, and our ordinance says 4 units. I get that, but I think that's why you're here for a variance tonight. Okay, just, thank you.
You did, the other thing I think you did mention at the beginning was that there was communication put out to individuals nearby or there, and you got nothing back negative concerning this initiative.
That is correct. I received one phone call from the son of obviously somebody that lives here that has his son listed on his mailing address. He happened to be a client of mine for something unrelated, and he simply asked what was going on. I told him, and that was that. I received no other written or telephone or email correspondence.
Thank you.
With that, I'm not sure where we go with the first one, but I think Mr. Jarvis kind of clarified that. Ultimately, one way or the other, we are requesting that the building still be allowed to provide the numbers of units, which exceeds the zoning district to have.
And
16.
if we do not grant the variance, you're still going to have 16 units, yes?
We will, and thus to what Jared said.
Until
we
the
will,
ownership changes.
if it ever does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Agreed.
Correct. The item B is related to the side yards. And on the second illustration of your, in your packets, does kind of have some labels and whatnot mentioning each one of these that I'm going through. Item B, each interior lot needs a side yard on each side. On one side or both, the parking lot or drive aisles does extend effectively to the property line. So we are respectfully asking to be allowed 0-foot side yards on each side of the lot. Item C is related to lot coverage. The R3 zoning district requires a maximum percentage of the lot occupied by a building to be 30%. This obviously is not survey quality, so we round it up just a touch. They're between 30 and 35% coverage with buildings, so that is why item C requests 35%, exceeding allowable by 5%. Item D requires a 2-foot wide green strip along the side and the rear yards. The rear yard is right up against the property line with pavement, and the side yards, at least one of them has pavement to that, so we are requesting a 0-foot green strip on the rear or side lot lines. Again, that is something that exists today. Item E seems the most egregious on its face, but in the case that in the R3 district, you're allowed effectively 100 square feet for a garage, which for a 4-unit building is only 400 feet. In the case of 2601, has 2 accessory buildings, each which hold about 8 garages. So it does exceed the allowable size by 4,800 square feet, but it seems like a lot, but that's a function of simply we're multiplying the numbers by 4, and we're providing 1 garage per unit. So when looked at from the zoning code, it's quite large, but it's really the same amount per unit as would be allowed. Item F relates to off-street parking. Inclusive of the garages, 2601 is deficient by 1 space. It provides 31 total parking spaces on its lot, which the requirement will be 32. So we are requesting to provide 1 less space than is required by the R3 zoning district. Item G is, at least in my opinion, very minor. Denise or whoever's, can you scroll to the next page? These are obviously quite old fixtures. I would contend they're not quite site lighting fixtures. They're more pedestrian illumination, but as they are effectively on the lot line, we did request the allowance for 3 non-shielded, non-cutoff fixtures. Again, they are the exact lights you see on the screen today, but they aren't throwing light only down, so I wanted to cover my bases with that variance. And the final variance related to 2601 is related to the dumpster and recycling boxes. You can see in the, just barely on the right side of this screen, unfortunately, the dumpsters currently are unscreened. They are visible from the street, which is obviously not desirable. This is quite possibly the only kind of don't need it variance, and we know why. Not just Schererville, every town has screening requirements. If they were to be relocated to out of view from the street, it would come at a detriment to parking. We'd almost certainly lose 1 or 2 spaces. They are positioned where they are, obviously for ease of collection. If you go back 1 screen, if we shielded them behind the buildings, we not only lose a space, but would also cause some issue for collection. So that is something that probably could be rectified. I'm explaining why we're still asking for that variance in this, and that it's kind of a trade-off. If we relocate it, we probably lose more parking. I don't think it's any secret that there are some residents parking on the street, so We wanted to present that trade-off before simply assuming that you would allow that to be left alone. But that is why we are asking for that variance, and that moving it would create other potential difficulties. That is the balance of the variances specific to 2601 only. I'd be happy to keep going to 2633 if you prefer, or if you have any questions at this time.
Well, at this time, we'd like to bring it back to the board and see if they have any questions on where we've come to at this time.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Mr. Jarvis?
Okay, the dumpster, I get it, you see that from the street, which we really don't allow. Do you have the ability to fence that in and maybe put gates on it? Most businesses do it that way.
I certainly understand they do. I think in order to, given the collection and where parking comes around, if we did fence it and shield it, it would almost, if you can kind of see the white cars are basically traveling tight around it. We probably
Yeah,
have to
but
look in it.
Is there a reason you can't make the fencing tight with double gates on the front of it like normal? And
No.
leave it in the position it's in, but just hide it. That's all we're asking for. Otherwise, I have an issue with H.
Quite frankly, I put it on there just for discussion. I think should the board take an issue with H, that would be the one that I'm sure the current owner and future owner would be happy to eliminate
Well,
and shield it as you're suggesting.
Part of our findings of fact, if I make a motion, it's going to be in there. So it's going to be required as far as I see it, because they're not supposed to be exposed.
The owner has no issue with that, Mr. Jarvis.
Thank you.
Good.
The other thing is, on that picture, Andy, if you could back up, on the left side there at the bottom, are we going to put attention to those sidewalks? Because we can't really have a safety issue. This is not going to move to the Plan Commission, so we need to address it here. Does the owner have a problem with fixing that? It's just about 3 to 4 feet that I see that needs to be fixed.
You talking about where the drive comes in?
No, I'm talking about where it's all cracked. Can you focus in on that, Andy? It's a safety issue there that needs addressed.
That's the end you're talking about, Bill?
See where the blacktop and the concrete are?
Yeah.
Yes,
That needs fixed.
whatever needs to be done.
That's all I wanted to hear. The attorney will probably ask you somewhere along the line if you're willing to do that and make it part of the record. Thank you. Now you can open it up to the floor whenever.
Chairman?
Yes. Mr. Curris?
Can I ask, on the garage, not that it plays a role, not that it plays anything, but on the garage, are those individual, one-car garages, or is it one strip and everybody, it's kind of community garage?
No, they are individual garages.
Garage, okay. And then, and Mr. Counselor, please forgive this question if it's, but the tenants that are currently in the building have been notified of this meeting as well, I'm assuming, right? Or just people around the building?
All of the listed property owners have been notified per the
But since they're
statute.
rentals, have those tenants been notified of this meeting?
I don't believe there's an indication as to whether additional notices were sent for tenants. I don't know that we actually have that information or can tell from the packet that we were given, which are some of these units owner occupied and others rented? They're all rented?
Okay.
So it would have been the owners that received the notice.
Is that
All the
it?
questions.
Anything else, Tom? Any other questions from board members? If not, we're gonna push it out to the audience. Are there any questions from any audience members?
For items A through H.
If not, we'll bring it back to the board. If there's no other additional questions, we will move forward to 26 26-1-9 to 26-1-16.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Jarvis.
since all these address the same property, A through H, what I'm going to do is say item A from the agenda, BZA case 26-1-1. I make a favorable recommendation to the town council due to, and I'm going to repeat, I don't want to repeat this every time, this will not hurt the adjoining property values, will not affect adjoining safety, welfare, and general pleasure of the adjoining community there, and that it does go a little bit against our comprehensive plan, but these buildings were built long before, and as I see it, the hardship is that the buildings are there, so it can't really be changed. So that's the hardship as I see it. So I have a favorable recommendation to the town council on item A.
We have a motion for item A. Is there a second?
Second?
We have
Have Megan call roll.
we have a motion from Mr. Jarvis and a second from Mr. Kuros. Megan, would you perform roll call for us?
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Tom Corris.
Yes.
Michael Davis.
Yes. Motion passes.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Jarvis.
item B per our agenda, BZA case 26-1-2, and including all items I made reference to earlier, especially the hardship. I make a motion to approve pursuant to all state, local, federal regulations, and fees to the town of Schererville be kept current.
Motion from Mr. Jarvis to approve item B. Is there a second?
Second?
Second from Mr. Kuros. Megan?
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Tom Corris.
Yes.
Michael Davis.
Yes. Motion approved.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Jarvis.
item C from our agenda, BZA case 26-1-3. I make all these same references as I did in the first one, and I make a motion to approve pursuant to all state, local, federal regulations, fees to the town of Schererville be kept current.
Have a motion from Mr. Jarvis. Is there a second?
Second?
Megan?
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Tom Corris.
Yes.
Michael Davis.
Yes. Motion approved.
Mr. Chairman,
Jarvis.
agenda item D, BZA case 26-1-4. I make a motion to approve pursuant to all state, local, federal regulations and all comments I made in earlier parts of this.
Have a motion from Mr. Jarvis. Is there a second?
Second?
Megan?
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Tom Corris.
Yes.
Michael Davis.
Yes. Motion approved.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Jarvis.
item E on our agenda, BZA case 26-1-5. I make a motion to approve pursuant to all state, local, federal regulations and on all comments made on earlier petitions.
Have a motion to approve from Mr. Jarvis. Item D. Is there a second?
Second?
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Tom Corris.
Yes.
Michael Davis.
Yes.
Was
Motion
that
approved.
item E? Okay, just making sure. Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Jarvis.
item F, BZA case 26-1-6. I make a motion to approve pursuant to all state, local, federal regulations and all comments I made previous on the other petitions.
Have a motion to approve item F from Mr. Jarvis. Is there a second?
Second?
Second from Mr. Kuros.
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Tom Corris.
Yes.
Michael Davis.
Yes. Motion approved.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Jarvis.
item G, BZA case 26-1-7. I make a motion to approve pursuant to all state, local, federal regulations and all comments made on previous petitions.
Motion to approve item G from Mr. Jarvis. Is there a second?
Second?
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Tom Corris.
Yes.
Michael Davis.
Yes. Motion approved.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Jarvis.
item H, BZA case 26-1-8. I make a motion to approve, but Attorney, do you want to ask him about the screening and the fencing and also the concrete repair before we move any further?
Yes, so if we could have the present owner just state on the record that he is willing to comply with the requests of the board as to screening of the dumpster, the repair of the sidewalk. Was there one other that I'm forgetting, or were those the?
That was it.
And those two items?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve pursuant to all state, local, federal regulations. Fees to the town of Schererville be kept current, and all statements I made on previous petitions.
Motion to approve item H from Mr. Jarvis. Is there a second?
Second.
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Tom Corus.
Yes.
Michael Davis.
Yes. Motion approved. Okay, now we will continue with items 26-1-9 to 26-1-16.
Thank you. I'm very happy to report the remaining items are identical to what we just discussed for 2601 with two very minor adjustments. Item N has a different exceedance and allowable size simply because the garages are shaped differently. So those garages will exceed ordinance by 3,700 square feet, and 2633 is deficient by 5 spaces as opposed to 1 for 2601. The balance of the variances are identical to what you just voted on.
Okay, is there any questions from our board members?
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Mr. Jarvis?
do we have a separate dumpster for this location, or does the dumpster work for both locations?
So technically, the way they sit today, the dumpster for 2601 does sit on 2633. You can see one at the bottom and then one at the top. So I am sure there is some cross-use by residents, but there's 2 dumpsters, and one is at the extreme north end of 2633.
Okay, so we're going to need to screen that one in as well.
Of course, yes.
Okay, so what item was it on our list here?
The 2633 dumpster is item P. Item P for Paul.
E, thank you. And just so I have a complete understanding, what were you doing with the lighting?
Simply allowing the lights that are there, the small decorative, more for pedestrian safety, just to allow them to be there as they sit. They're probably not up to modern lighting standards, but you could also claim they're not really site lighting, they're just for pedestrian safety. But we included that variance just because I know the town is very particular to lighting, and I did not want to leave it out.
For your own use, you may want to change them to LEDs, which is a matter of changing bulbs. Which item was the
E.
P? Thank you, Tom. Okay.
Any other questions from board members? If not, we will push it out to the floor. Are there any questions from any of our audience members this evening?
Make sure you check proofs of obligation on this one, too.
Okay, nothing from the audience. If not, I'm going to bring it back to the board. Is there a motion for
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Jarvis?
item A, BZA case 26-1-9 of our agenda. I make a favorable recommendation to the town council with all comments I made on earlier petitions since they're neighboring buildings.
Have a motion for approval for item I from Mr. Jarvis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Kuros.
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Tom Corus.
Yes.
Michael Davis.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman,
Motion passes. Yes.
item J, BZA case 26-1-10. I make a motion to approve pursuant to all state, local, federal regulations and any comments I made on earlier petitions.
Have a motion to approve item J from Mr. Jarvis. Is there a second?
Second?
Second from Mr. Kuros.
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Tom Corus.
Yes.
Michael Davis.
Yes. Motion passes.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Jarvis.
item K of our agenda, BZA case 26-1-11. I make a motion to approve pursuant to all state, local, federal regulations, fees to the town of Schererville kept current, and that all comments I made on earlier petitions be guided.
Motion for approval for item K from Mr. Jarvis. Is there a second?
Second?
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Tom Corus.
Yes.
Michael Davis.
Yes. Motion approved.
Just making sure I got all these in order. L was next, right?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, item
Jarvis.
L per our agenda, BZA case 26-1-12. I make a motion to approve pursuant to all state, local, federal regulations. Fees to the town of Schererville will be kept current, and all comments I made on earlier petitions.
Have a motion for approval for item L. Is there a second?
Second?
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Tom Corus.
Yes.
Michael Davis.
Yes. Motion approved.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Jarvis.
item M of our agenda, BZA case 26-1-13. I make a motion to approve pursuant to all state, local, federal regulations and fees to the town of Schererville be kept current, and all comments I made on earlier petitions.
Motion to approve by item M from Mr. Jarvis. Is there a second?
Second?
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Tom Corus.
Yes.
Michael Davis.
Yes. Motion approved.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Jarvis.
item N from our agenda, BZA case 26-1-14. I make a motion to approve pursuant to all state, local, federal regulations. Fees to the town of Schererville be kept current, and that all comments I made earlier on other petitions be guided.
Motion to approve item N from Mr. Jarvis. Is there a second?
Second?
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Tom Corus.
Yes.
Michael Davis.
Yes. Motion approved.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Jarvis.
item O on our agenda, BZA case 26-1-15. I make a motion to approve pursuant to all state, local, federal regulations. Fees to the town of Schererville be kept current, and all comments I made on earlier petitions.
Motion to approve item O from Mr. Jarvis. Is there a second?
Second?
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Tom Corus.
Yes.
Michael Davis.
Yes. Motion approved.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Jarvis.
item P, BZA case 26-1-16. I make a motion to approve pursuant to all state, local, federal regulations, and that there be a second screening of the dumpster in
Motion,
its current location, sorry.
no problem. Motion to approve item P from Mr. Jarvis. Is there a second?
Second?
Bill Jarvis.
Yes.
Tom Corus.
Yes.
Michael Davis.
Yes. Motion approved.
Thank you very
And
much.
Could we also have the owner's confirmation on the record concerning that second lot dumpster screening?
Yes, I do. I'll take care of that also.
Thank you. Good luck. You're welcome. Next on the agenda is commission business, A, findings of facts. BZA case number 25-12-20, 751 Lincoln Highway, proposed Family Express with retail center. Petitioners, Family Express Corporation, Patrick Light, General Counsel, and Pete Andrio, Vice President of Development, represented by Attorney James Weiser, Weiser and Wiley, LLP, and Engineer James Hughes Jr., DVG Team, Inc. Lot 1 is requesting a 33-foot, a minimum front yard, and a minimum 0-foot landscape strip with respect to US 30, approved 4-0 on December 8th, 2025.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion for approval from Mr. Curris, second.
I'll second it.
Second, Mr. Jarvis. Motion approved.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, if I may, can we do items 2 through, let me get to the count here. 20 as a bulk, approving of findings of fact, because it's the
Can.
same property,
Yes, we can.
so you gotta call it.
Make a motion to approve BZA case 25-12 cases.
I make a motion to approve.
Second?
Sorry, I interrupted
All
you.
those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed. If there's not anything else, we are in adjournment. Thank you for your attention, and good night. No, it's okay.
The attorney, the attorney's supposed to do their job, dude.